Welcome to the Bird Herd, sponsored by Redbird Esports. This week it's episode 14, and this week we have Andrew Van Hoveln, right? Is that how I pronounce it?
Yep. That was pretty good, actually.
Nailed it.
Good. Yeah, his in-game name, of course, is Wintren. He is our Valorant Club coach and club. Aren't you the? No, you're not president, but you're on the board, right?
Leader, yeah, I'm on the board.
And of course, I have Sexy Maxie joining me as well as Skatron. So, yeah, no, I just skipped over you. It's fine. We already know who you are.
Yeah, I'm not important. Andrew's more important here.
That's true.
So it's good to have you on, Andrew. I feel like we haven't really touched on much of the Valorant aspect of Redbird Esports yet. We talk a lot about League of Legends. Obviously, we include a little bit of Siege, Overwatch, but it's cool to finally get some Valorant people in here. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
It's good, man. So obviously, we got a lot to talk about here. We usually just like to start off just talking a little bit, about like yourself, what year you are in school, what you're studying, stuff like that.
Well, me personally, I'm actually a freshman this year. It's my first year in college, and I'm studying computer science here at Illinois State. So
You and a good majority of the Discord right there on that computer science major.
Yeah.
You are a better man than I am. I could not do it. I would lose my mind. But that's cool. Like, especially for you to be a club leader and to have, be a coach and a sub for the Valorant team here is really cool to, you got in early, that's really good to hear them.
Yeah. We definitely have a lot of talent on our varsity, our Valorant roster, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what tournaments are you guys? Are you guys in any leagues or tournaments right now?
Currently, we are in a league called NACCS. It's a Face-It league for Valorant. We are also participate in these tournaments called Valorant Sunday Showdown, VCS. In these tournaments that we have usually been participating in weekly are very, very competitive. Like, they have semi-pro, like tier 2 teams in the tournaments, like people that have literally competed, and even some of them have beaten some of the best teams in the world. And we've had the opportunity to even face some of these teams. For example, the other week we faced a team called Headshot Percentage, and that team beat T1 in Valorant.
Oh, wow.
And it was a best of one, but we brought them till about 2 rounds. So it was a pretty good match, and it was very good practice for our team, I think.
Yeah, no, that's really cool to have some of that experience and to say, like, it's a flex, being able to be like, yeah, we've played these guys and these guys played those guys, and it's cool to kind of be playing at a high skill level like that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
When we talk about like Valorant, obviously, they keep adding a ton of new agents and stuff. Valorant is actually one of those games that I can touch. I've got usually about 4 games in me before I lose my mind. What's your favorite agent?
Shoot. I probably like Omen the most because I usually end up filling smokes when I play ranked, but I like Omen's TP a lot, and his blind is really powerful. So
Yeah, I don't even like. I don't read
I don't
any.
even know who that is.
No, I know who it is. I don't
Okay,
read any of
okay.
the patch notes. I don't read any of the character bios. I just shoot. That's all I do. I just point and click. There's not, I don't bother catching up on any other stuff. But yeah, I don't even know if I have Omen unlocked right now. I think when I think of Valorant right now, I think of, oh man, I don't know her name. I call her cuss words instead of her name. Sky, I think. I can't stand her. Like, every time I think of Valorant now, I think of her, and I'm just like, do I really want to play Valorant today? I don't know.
yeah, she can be annoying. However, she's not like super meta right now because her flashes are shootable, and there are other characters that are just like better when it comes to their util and recon.
Okay, it's good to know that you can actually counter her. 'Cause,
Yeah, she's counterable.
Who do you think is like the most broken right now, if any?
Well, shoot. That would either have to be, in my opinion, Jet or maybe even Breach. Because Breach has 3 flashes that are almost undodgeable. and he has a stun that could be really powerful for CC, and he also has an ability called Aftershock, which allows him to completely clear out a corner or even stop a bomb plant in some situations. Just all that utility just gives him so much power on the map to just take and do whatever the team pretty much pleases. Because you can't really do much when your breach flash 3 times, and each flash lasts 2 full seconds. Jet, on the other hand, she has an ability called Dash, so it makes her really strong on the op. Because say in Counter-Strike, you're peeking an angle with an op and you miss your shot, you're pretty much dead. The other guy's going to kill you. With Jet, you can miss your shot and dash completely away from the angle and live and have an opportunity to reset and take another fight, which is huge when it comes to like the numbers game and being able to move somewhere else on the map and have impact somewhere else.
Yeah, I always love Jet because Jet's like one of those ones, like you said, you get reposition even if you mess up. She just has such a versatility that not a lot of the other champions have, or has like consistent versatility. Like you said, Breach is really good right now because he's got so many flashes. Like you could mess up Phoenix's flash and then blind yourself, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm losing this fight.
Yeah, there are some situations where Phoenix Flash is really nice, like going through a smoke, or because Breach can only flash through walls.
That's true. So, yeah, I was gonna say, what do you guys think of Astra? Because Astra's new, and
Oh, I think Astra is going to be absolutely broken. She's not actually allowed to be played in any like team environment so far, but she is the epitome of a perfect character for combinations of abilities.
Yeah, I logged on and I didn't even know that there was like a new season. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is this? What is this? Because like the first game I was playing, I like looked over and she's just meditating in like the middle of the thing, and I was like, what is going on here? But yeah, I feel like that's a lot of utility, a lot of smokes. I don't know. I was reading a little bit about her, and yeah, I feel like in a competitive environment, she is going to really be either useful or just completely broken.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna excel.
What are the as a team? What are you guys ranked at like right now? In terms like, sorry, I phrased that weird. Like individual
Um,
ranks, I should say.
I would say in our NACCS league, like this, and also this is like an invite league that we got invited to. It's pretty like prestigious. Like you have to get invited by the tournament organizer. We had it was actually back when I was still on the team. We had a really close match against DePaul University where we went into like 7 or 8 overtimes on Haven. And one of the tournament organizers was watching that match because it had like 500, 600 viewers at the time.
Oh wow.
And that's how we got invited to the league. And in this league, I'm pretty sure we're top 10 right now. We're like sitting around 10th. So we're pretty much guaranteed playoffs. And until then, we'll see how far we go. And that'll determine like what we're ranked in our area, I would say.
That's really awesome to hear that you guys, number one, were even able to get into this league, and you're, not really throwing away that shot. You guys are working hard, and it's cool that, you guys can represent, Redbird Esports like that, especially as Valorant and, this part, the Valorant team pretty much, I don't want to say it's just taking off, but, it's not, hasn't been here as long per se.
Yeah, it definitely is accelerating. We're trying to accelerate the process, get to the top quickly as possible.
I in terms of like looking, doing social media and running social media, running the R6 Twitter account, like I look at Valorant and I think like if I had a community as active as like Valorant is, like it would be awesome. Because like right now, Siege is, I don't want to say it's a dead game, but it's dying a little bit, and so it's like really hard to farm impressions on TikTok and Twitter whenever I post clips because people just don't care about Siege. But Valorant is so popular right now, and I really just can. I think it's just going to continue to get more and more popular,
Yeah, I definitely hope so.
especially as console kids keep moving over to PC.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're actually planning to make like mobile and console versions of Valorant. Obviously, it won't interfere with the PC version. They won't ever be as competitive as the PC version, but it'll be a way for those player bases to feel included and probably end up watching Valorant because they play it on their console or such.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that's cool that they're gonna do that because I mean, obviously, I think it's taken off a little bit quicker than Siege and all those because, well, I mean, it's Tencent and Riot who are very much like, hey, you know what? Any game we make, we're gonna invest into it and we're gonna do the esports right for it. Or not gonna pick on Siege or other ones, but
Nah, dude, it deserves
yeah,
it. Go ahead.
there's a lot of other companies that I just feel like you just don't have pretty much a scene for. Obviously, like CS:GO's been around for a while, so it's not like I don't know they don't have a scene. I mean, I'm gonna flame a little on one of the games. I mean, it's not like CDL with Call of Duty because CDL obviously changes so hard. It's so different. It's like you go from like fours, the fives, the fours. Like like almost like every couple like not a couple seasons, couple games that they come out, and then it's like, all right, well, we're just gonna do some broken stuff and everything, and then you but you can't use it, kind of a thing. Or it's like, oh, we've had this around since MLG, and then I'm like, yeah, but MLG days were better than kind of where we're at now. Like we're at now, like not a lot of people are, I think, watching as much, even with the addition of LA Thieves and a couple other organizations now joining in. Maybe they'll bring some popularity to that, but yeah, I mean, Valorant. I mean, I've been watching the VCS actually, so I was watching yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it? Yeah, it was yesterday because I was watching Shroud because Shroud is always the one that I watch over Ninja or Myth or the others for Valorant, just because I can. Well, obviously better, but also I don't want to deal with Baby Cage, Rage Cage, Ninja. As I obviously just watched the video of how he doesn't like the move that he did, but that's a whole different conversation for another podcast or anything like that. So when you're not playing Valorant, what's your other go-to games that you like to play?
Well, it usually changes with time, but currently I have been playing a lot of Apex and I'll occasionally play Counter-Strike, but Counter-Strike's like too similar to be honest.
I was gonna ask if you came over from Counter Strike.
Yeah, I put a lot of time into Counter-Strike. I think I'm one of maybe two of the other guys, one of the only that actually put a lot of time into Counter-Strike. A lot of the other people came over from like games like Overwatch, and Chili even came over from Dota. So,
Oh wow, that's a little bit of a difference right there.
yeah.
Yeah, MOBA the shooter, big difference.
Yeah, yeah. No, that actually surprised me. I definitely thought like more CS people would have been there.
Yeah, I'd say he adapted pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's on varsity. Like, how many teams do you guys have right now? Do you guys have a club team and a varsity team?
We have two teams, but it's almost gotten to a point where we could have three. Like it's getting pretty close.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And obviously, I'm guessing there's a pretty big tournament scene for it. So, would you guys like be competing in kind of the same tournaments, or do you think like you would be able to put like an academy team and kind of like a lower bracket kind of thing?
There's usually like every big tournament usually has a lower tournament for like academy teams, so academy teams can face academy teams. That's what I think. And like every league has like a league under it, so it's probably what we would end up joining.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah, I figure they'll do what League does, whereas you got your main, which would be whatever they're going to call that one, and then you have the academy scene, and then now they made that amateur scene, so that tier 2 scene is what they call it. So, and that would be nice. I mean, I would hope that could get more of those from a more competitive back standpoint than just GG leagues or whoever face it. Any of those is just providing and being like, oh hey. Here's a lower bracket one, but there's not like a lot of payout or whatever the case is, kind of a thing. Like you may not get the experience that you're hoping for. It might be like, oh hey, you're a bunch of plants or diamonds, and you're just facing just silvers and golds. Like fighting silvers and golds. I mean, there's a big skill disparity there that you know, I would hate to see. Are all of you guys immortals, or what's your individual skill ranks?
Everyone's Immortal Plus. Dave is Radiant right now.
What's the highest one you can go?
At Radiant.
Gotcha.
Dave. Well, actually, Dave just dropped out of Radiant because the system's kind of busted right now. You win like 10 elo for a win, but you lose like 30 elo for a loss.
Oh, so likely got it.
Yeah.
Makes enough sense to me.
Yeah, he's still like on the border though. He's not like super far out of Radiant. Everyone on the team is high Immortal or Radiant.
Gotcha.
When you like, obviously, you guys are always out there practicing. How many like hours do you think the team puts into practice each week?
Um, Usually you try to get at least like 5 to 6 hours of practice each week, and that's usually all in like scrims. So it'd just be like straight up practice matches. Because Valorant's kind of like not really a game where you could just go into a server and
Right.
practice execs. You have to actually play against other people because the utility is so. It's a little bit more straightforward than Counter Strike, but also at the same time it can be more in depth. It's just not utility that you can go and practice execs dry on a site because there are so many other factors that just aren't in Counter-Strike that are in this game that make it almost impossible to follow a set exec in a round. It's always going to be something's going to happen that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys like have like set scrim like partners, or do you guys just kind of ask around each week?
Usually we just kind of ask around. A lot of the time, Nine does a really good job at scheduling scrims, like because he's the competitive coordinator, so usually he's the one who does it. But he does a good job at scheduling scrims like consistently a few days beforehand and telling everyone what time it is, so everyone's free.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. Obviously, it's really good that you guys are out there and scrimming. you know, like you said, I don't think there's really any other way to get better other than to scrim. Do you guys like have? I don't know. Like in Siege, I see that like some of the schools kind of have. I don't want to say like a rival, but like when you're going against them, it's always going to be a good matchup. Do you guys have another university that's kind of like that?
Um, I would say that definitely used to be DePaul. We used to always go really close every match we played DePaul. But now that'd probably be more like, shoot, I don't know. Iowa State because we know them so well. Like we're in so many discords with them, and we literally play 10 men's with them like almost every day. So we know every single player on that team.
That was actually going to be like what my next question was in terms of like, how often you guys are running 10 mans. Because like I know obviously Siege is completely different. I cannot play like ranked and unranked Siege. Like it sucks. Like I'm down for 10 mans. So like is that like an everyday thing?
We try to do 10 men's for the club and everything every Saturday where it's like all inclusive and we're playing for fun. We're trying to like vibe out, get people to join, feel like they're included. And then we have 10 men's that are there's a Face It hub for 10 men's and it's just strictly college Valorant players that are like pretty top tier. Like everyone in this hub is pretty much Diamond 3 plus, and Diamond 3s are few and far between. It's pretty much a Mortal plus, but there are a few slightly lower ranks in there. And those are like the elite 10 men's that a lot of people queue into to try to improve their skill because it's much better than ranked and you're always consistently playing against good players per se.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I love those because, I mean, getting 10 mans. I mean, I would love that more with League if we could. It's not always the best, but we try our best, with that because everyone's schedules, crazy. They don't always have the best, times to kind of link up and everything, which is unfortunate, kind of a thing. But we always try to. I mean, I like doing the Overwatch ones. I mean, if I was decent at Valorant, I'd probably enjoy it. But it's like CS, and I'm gonna just refer from saying my comments I say about CS. So as I was told, I'm treading thin ice on talking about CS:GO, and I'm like, oh well, that's just because you're a Sage main, bro. You need to just stop.
Ooh, CS.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Valorant kind of just take off more. I mean, obviously we have a competitive main, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what do they call the main league for Valorant, like for the pros.
Well, right now there's not like a huge league, but they're calling the current tournament Masters, and then the next tournament's gonna be, I don't even remember, Champions Tour. They're calling it Champions Tour right now because it's a pretty long tournament. It's gonna be like a 6-month deal.
Oh, geez.
Three big like regional major tournaments, and then there's gonna be like a big major LAN. It's probably not like 6 months. That was probably like an overestimate. I don't know.
Oh, like 3 months, like something like that.
3 months would be a safe guess. Yeah.
Like cut it in half there, yeah. I mean, I can see that because I mean that's kind of what those seasons are for the games. Is like you got about what, like 45 to 60 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably just like a regular season then.
There's three majors in every major region, like regional majors. And then the winner of each major, so there'll be 3 people from NA, 3 people from this region, 3 people from EU, all going to LAN. There's actually going to be a LAN in Iceland, I think. The place they showed off looked really awesome.
That's cool.
And then they're all going to play on LAN for the first time because the big question is NA versus the EU. Who's the best? NA versus Korea, EU versus Korea. You know, everyone wants to see the cross-region teams play because obviously with the online, you can't play because ping is an issue.
Right, and with COVID going on, I'm sure they were kind of like, well, how do we do this, safely so no one has any issues or anything like that. So, I mean, obviously they go into Iceland, that's going to be probably fine. And then I don't know if they have a big arena space where they can just kind of like section each team off in a area and everything like that, and like that's their just dedicated space. No one can go in like or out or whatever the case is, for trying to like mess with stuff. It's not like LCS or LEC or any of those league where they're like, oh yeah, we have you come in and you bring your monitor and all that stuff and everything if you need to have a monitor brought in, or it's like you always bring your keyboard and mouse, stuff like that. So it's not like you're going to have to deal with that, hopefully, in that case. And hopefully by then, most of us would have vaccines too. So we shouldn't be running into that issue at that point.
Yeah, I've never been to a LAN. And
oh, man.
I know. I picked the wrong
You're
time.
missing out.
I picked the wrong time to get into video games. But I cannot wait to get to one. I don't even care what game it is. It could be League. I could have no idea what's even happening. I think I'd still have a blast. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting out and getting back to some sort of normalcy, especially here on campus. Andrew, are you on campus or are you at home?
I was last semester, but I went home this semester just because, dorm's expensive. Don't want to pay for a dorm if I don't have to.
I can't even blame you, man. I cannot
blame you. They're so crazy, man. Like even when I went, it was just so much money then, and then now I can't even imagine. It's like I always say, I'm like, man, it's like what I paid a year at like my private school for high school is basically a semester there because you're factoring in the room and board there of course is expensive, but I get it. I mean, I understand what they're trying to create is they're trying to create a better community for people so that way they can still meet people and different things while it's still having these COVID times, this COVID era that we're in. But yeah, I mean, normally when it's not, I feel like it's great for you guys, that way you can still meet people. Obviously you have Subway and all that other stuff there, so that way you get the bone.
I wouldn't mind going home just for the food, to be honest. Like just
True.
Cooked meals that aren't Waterson or Try would be pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, well, and it's why I think I in the beginning I went home a little bit more was because I was trying to still hang out with my friends, back home more than I was like with people at school. just because school was first semester was rough. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that once I kind of realized it's like, oh well, hey, there's more people I can talk to and different things, and we actually bonded over things. That's when I was like, all right, you know what? Now I don't have to always go home as much. I want to be here, and then you know, I'd still go home. I mean, and obviously I'd be like, all right, I go home. We'd make a bunch of meals, and then I'm like, all right, put them in containers. We're bringing them back to school. I had the fridge always at school, so I'm like, you know what, we got that stuff. It's way I don't have to always make food or like you said, run to Waterson or in my case, we still had Southside open. Yeah, and like if I didn't have to chase all the way to the South Side because they were the ones staying open later for some reason, I'm like, man, I'd rather do that, kind of thing.
Was that the one like by the wreck that they tore down?
Yeah. So Southside was I think where the nursing building is, or where nursing's going into,
Oh, got you.
or
Makes so
whatever
much
they're
sense.
doing over there at that point. Where the extra garage,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for the parking and everything like that. Geez, why couldn't
Yeah.
I just say parking garage? Jeez. Anyways, it's still rough today, man.
I mean, speaking of the wreck, Andrew, have you been over to the vault yet?
Yes. When we were like doing our thing to officially become a club, I think we met Jack at the vaults. So that was pretty cool. We had like a in-person meeting there where we were wearing our masks and spread out, and we were talking on
Absolutely.
Discord through the computers because two people were still at home that we needed to talk to. But it was awesome seeing the vault for the first time. And he made
Yeah.
sure to turn off the lights and have all the key lights
Oh,
on and everything just so it looked super cool.
yeah. Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait till like we could just obviously I think not everybody is gonna be on campus and stuff and be able to go out and do practices there, but like I think even doing like one practice a month there just to kind of get some like team synergy is it could be huge.
Could be huge. Yeah. Literally, like, it's so much different being able to look over at your teammate and see the reaction on his face when you like 1v4 or do something
Yeah.
absolutely
Right.
insane.
You're shaking, your hands are all shaky, you can't even see straight anymore. But yeah, being able to give those fist bumps after the round, that's a pretty big part of it, I think.
I agree. I mean, I think it's gonna be nice once. I mean, you guys have digs involved, and then now once the arena gets taken care of too, then we'll be. I think we'll be set then at that point because now you have three different areas you can go into, and I mean, if they keep, I don't know what's working with the vault and all that stuff and everything. If they're keeping that on top of the arena or all that,
Where's the arena even going?
where bowling and billiards is at.
Oh, it is going in there? Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, they're still going in there.
Yeah, I mean, I had to clear out like a whole room for work one day, and I was like, "Wait, what's going in here?" They were like, "Something esports." I was like, "Ah, sick."
Yeah, because I think they're going to try and convert that like all. I don't know if they're going to convert all of it into it or most of it, and then just kind of like I don't know if they would like just move like the bowling and billiards somewhere else, kind of a thing on campus. I don't know, make it closer, just like another area, so that it's just not like at the student center. So this way you have like the arena and that, or if they're going to just be like, oh yeah, well we're just gonna. I mean, the building's kind of short, or I'm surprised they didn't just try to expand or build more, kind of a thing. Obviously, there's that other building that's right next to you guys there, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't just take that over and just be like, all right, well now this is dedicated to this, like, kind of a thing. But again, I don't know, how those decisions get made or anything like that. That's a Kirk and Jack thing that they know more than anything, and they tell me as they go, and if there's things that I can't say, well, obviously,
Fill
I'm
you
not
in
going to tell
later.
you.
I sign those and non-disclosure agreements. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of some more questions for you here, but I feel like we really flew through and covered a lot here about like, the Valorant, what's going on. As a club, do you guys have like any events that you guys do aside from 10 mans?
We have a Valorant and Friends tournament planned where because usually when we do these tournaments we don't get enough people to just strictly do ISU, but we definitely encourage ISU students to find a team of 5 and just find as many friends as possible that play the game and just make their own team, and then we have like a little for fun tournament around all the teams. so people could feel more involved with that. And also, I've been wanting to do like watch parties for the
Oh yeah,
tournament
yeah.
lately, but haven't gotten around to that yet.
That would
That'd
for
be cool.
sure be sick. Yeah, I think you could get some interest in that. Even even if it means a guy like me shows up and you guys literally have to explain to me what's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Say I don't get it, man.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah,
But
we had that
yeah,
tournament
so I think it would
last
be nice if you guys
semester.
had that. I mean, you also guys had your tournament last semester too, that you guys did, where you guys had a couple colleges in there. I think that's the ultimate goal is like, since we have a couple of these other colleges, you got your Bradley, you get your U of I, you have UIC, you have DePaul, like you mentioned, you have all these other ones in the state that honestly should just, come together and just make tournaments for you guys. So that way you have like almost like a tournament a month, kind of a thing where you guys can enjoy it. So it's like, oh, hey, SIU is going to do one, ISU is going to do one, IWU is doing another one, stuff like that. I think that would be awesome for you guys,
Yeah, for sure.
even if there's skill disparity. Kind of a thing. I don't expect every college to have like Immortals and Radiants at that point. So
Yeah, I mean, not to flex, but not everybody could be Redbird Esports.
yeah, right.
Am I right? I mean, speaking of plugging our own brand, you got anything else? Anything you wanted to plug while you're on here, Andrew? You got a Twitter, Twitch, or anything like that?
Mm, not really. I mean, we have a Twitch for or we have a Twitter for Valorant. Just I think it's just Redbird Valorant.
Shout out Redbird Valorant for sure.
I think it is just Red Rebellion. I think you like an underscore.
Yeah,
In
and
it.
then we do most of our stuff through Discord and just the Valorant section.
It sounds good. Gigatron, you got any other questions here before we wrap up?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, Andrew, it was really nice to meet you and talk to somebody from Valorant. It's really cool what you guys are doing so far. And I think, I speak for Gigatron and I when I say that we're, both pretty excited to see where the Valorant team can go because, I think it could be very good for us. But it was definitely really nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah, it was awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today on the Bird Herd. I'm Saxy Maxi, joined with Gigatron, as well as Andrew, and I'm probably going to butcher this, Andrew Van Hoveln?
Yep, Van
All
Hopen.
right. All right, you're the man. We will see you guys next week. You're listening to the Bird Herd. Goodbye, everybody.